Welcome back, everyone. I am looking out the studio window right now, and the wind coming off Lake Michigan is absolutely punishing today.
It really is freezing. I walked here from the Red Line station, and I think I lost all feeling in my hands.
Typical Chicago November. We just have to accept it. I'm Alex, and sitting across from me is Emma. Today, we are talking about two small words that carry a huge psychological weight: still and yet.
It sounds like a simple grammar lesson, but these two words actually frame how we view our entire lives. The anxiety of modern life is often tied to these concepts.
I agree completely. Before we get into the heavy stuff, let us establish the baseline. How do we actually use them correctly?
The simplest way to think about it is this. Still means something is continuing. It has not stopped. Yet means something has not happened, but you expect it to.
So if I say, I am still hungry, that means my hunger started in the past and it is continuing right now.
Exactly. The situation continues. But if you say, I have not eaten yet, you are focusing on the action that is missing. You expect to eat, but it has not occurred.
That paints a really clear picture. Still looks at what is happening, yet looks at what is not happening but should.
Right. It is like Still is a movie that is currently playing, and Yet is a movie that has not started. They deal with time, but in entirely different directions.
I want to talk about the emotional difference, because when we apply this to adult realities like money, careers, or relationships, the weight is enormous.
It truly is. Think about someone living here in Chicago, paying these high rent prices. If they say, I am still struggling with credit card debt, how does that feel?
It feels heavy. It feels like a persistent trap that keeps them awake at night. The word still carries exhaustion there.
Yes, it shows the pain is ongoing. Now, contrast that with, I have not paid off my debt yet.
Oh, I see. I have not paid it off yet implies there is a finish line. The completion is expected. It actually feels a bit more hopeful.
Exactly. Yet leaves the door open for the future. It acknowledges the current failure without making it permanent. Psychologists actually use the word yet to build a growth mindset.
That makes so much sense. When I was trying to buy a house, my savings never seemed to grow fast enough. I would tell myself, I am still renting. I felt like a failure.
And if you had said, I cannot afford a house yet, it would have reminded you that it is just a matter of time and strategy.
I want to pivot to the grammar rules quickly so our listeners have the structural foundation. Where do we usually place these words in a sentence?
Still usually goes in the middle of the sentence. It comes before the main verb. For example, I still live in the city. Or, she still works at the hospital.
But it goes after the to be verb, right? Like, I am still tired.
Yes, perfect. After the be verbs, but before other verbs. And what about yet? Where do you usually hear it?
Usually at the very end of the sentence. I have not decided yet, or have you eaten yet?
Exactly. Yet belongs at the end of questions and negative statements. That is the most common usage in everyday American English.
I do hear people use a phrase that breaks that rule, though. Yet another. Like, I received yet another email from my boss.
That is a great observation. Yet another is a specific phrase. It means one more, but it carries a strong feeling of frustration or annoyance.
Right. You do not say yet another piece of cake if you are happy about it. You say yet another revision from the client when your shoulders are tense and you want to quit.
Exactly. The expectation is that the task should be finished, but it keeps coming back. Speaking of unfinished tasks, there is actually a fascinating scientific reason why yet bothers us so much.
Really? I love the science behind behavior. What is the reason?
It is called the Zeigarnik effect. A Russian psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik discovered that human beings remember uncompleted tasks much better than completed ones.
Wait, really? So our brains are biologically wired to focus on the things we have not done?
Yes, our minds create a cognitive tension for things that are pending. That is why the phrase, I have not done it yet, causes actual physical anxiety. The brain refuses to let it go.
That explains why laying in bed at night is so stressful. You are not thinking about the 10 emails you answered. You are thinking about the one email you have not replied to yet.
Precisely. The yet is holding your brain hostage. Understanding this grammar point actually helps you understand your own psychology.
I want to explore the word still a bit more because it has meanings outside of time. It is not just about continuation.
Yes, still can also mean not moving or completely quiet. A doctor might tell you to keep still while they examine you. Or we say the night air is still.
There is a proverb I hear sometimes, still waters run deep. It is such a beautiful phrase.
It is. It means that people who are quiet on the outside often have very complex, deep thoughts and emotions on the inside. They do not show everything they feel.
It is also used to mean nevertheless or despite that, right? Like, the restaurant was incredibly expensive. Still, the food was worth it.
Yes, it acts as a transition word there. You are acknowledging a negative circumstance, but asserting that a positive result happened anyway.
Does yet have alternative meanings like that? Can I use yet as a transition word?
You can. In formal writing, yet is used very similarly to but. For example, the plan was risky, yet it succeeded. It sounds a bit more literary than everyday speech.
I see that in news articles constantly. The economy is growing, yet wages remain stagnant. It adds a tone of contradiction.
Exactly. But in spoken English, the most common phrase you will hear with yet is extremely short, just 2 words. Not yet.
I use that phrase multiple times a day. Have you finished the report? Not yet. Have you decided what to order? Not yet.
It is the universal answer for procrastination. But I prefer the optimistic phrases like, the best is yet to come.
That is a great perspective. The best is yet to come means that even if things are difficult now, the future holds something superior. It flips the anxiety of the Zeigarnik effect into hope.
Exactly. You are reframing the unknown future. Another good one is better yet. It introduces a superior alternative. We could call them, or better yet, we could visit them.
I feel like we have covered a massive amount of ground today, from the basic grammar placement to the deep anxiety of unfinished tasks.
Grammar is never just rules on a page. It is how we construct our reality. The words you choose, whether you are still struggling or have not succeeded yet, dictate how you experience life.
That is incredibly profound, Emma. Thank you for walking out in the freezing Chicago wind to share this with us today.
It was my pleasure, Alex. And to everyone listening, keep practicing. You might not be perfect yet, but you are still making progress.